the one thing I wanted to add about Mark Meadows is that author of, he has a book out, The Chief's Chief. He is really one of the dumbest people probably on the face of the earth. So I think it is important to realize that he did participate until he decided that he should I think what happened was the book came out. Trump was extremely mad because he showed that Trump had COVID and knew he had COVID before the debate.
Yep.
And then they did another test and they were like, it's negative. So we just let him go and cough on Joe Biden. And I think then Trump got really mad at him and was like, this guy, is fucking me over. And so he's like, executive privilege. But, he's promoting his book, which is about his time with the executive. So he's a real fucking idiot.
And just obviously to prove what an idiot he is, the things that he was doing into the lead up of this, a number of them, meaning speaking to the National Guard, getting their confirmation they would be protecting the rioters, effectively protecting Trump's people, protecting our people, not actually protecting the lawmakers inside or anybody else. But
why would you protect members of Congress when you can protect rioters?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. He was working on something called Italygate. So Meadows sends Jeff Rosen, the acting attorney general. This is like a couple days before January 6th. This is great. Material written entirely in Italian in an attached letter addressed to Trump from an Italian named Carlo Goria, who said he was working for a U.S. aerospace company and then went on to regurgitate a conspiracy theory that was doing the rounds known as Italygate. What's Italygate? Well, Meadows three days later sent Rosen an email containing a 13-minute YouTube video titled Brad Johnson, Rome Satellite Services, an update. In the video, Johnson, a retired CIA station chief, gave further details of Italygate, which he described as a secret plot to overturn the U.S. presidential election and stop Trump from gaining a second term. In Johnson's account, an Italian defense contractor, Leonardo, had joined forces, just like fucking Guido said. What's his last name? Da Vinci. It's not important. Anyway, Leonardo had joined forces with the CIA to carry out the dastardly scheme. Together, they had hacked into Italian military satellites, beaming them down onto U.S. voting machines in battleground states and remotely switching votes from Trump to Joe Biden. Italygate.
Yeah, my people.
My people.
Let me tell you,
like what my mom called like her marriage to my dad.
Italians can't even manage a four-way intersection, let alone try to beam information into a satellite. I mean, that is impossible.
Oh my God.
It seems very, the whole thing. The one thing you should realize from all of this is that there are a lot of people in our military that are nuts.
Yeah.
That's a little scary, right? He was a CIA station chief. That's the big boss there.
Yeah.
Not great, man.
Yeah.
But he was on it. I also want the text that Meadows sent back. I think we have some of them like, yeah, I'm on it. But I also feel like some of them were like, have you heard about Italygate? And they're like, motherfucker. And let's just round this out and just say that this is Laura Ingraham and Sean Hannity, people who night after night go on to basically claim that January 6th was a false flag, has been overblown, that all the people who have been imprisoned or being held accountable are political prisoners now. They're patriots. Yeah. They would never throw Trump under the bus, right? They're not even saying these guys are patriots who were misled, which is an angle you could imagine. But no. And yet Tucker, for all of the fact that he's a giant piece of shit white supremacist, it's like, well, at least it's consistent. He didn't send a little message to Meadows saying this has gone too far. He was
right. He was
just as excited.
Gone far enough.
Yeah, we need to do more.
He was like, more. He was like, I kind of want to see Mike Pence on a pike.
What's the posers versus, you have the posers and the real believers, but everybody wants to support the same thing. Hannity and, I used to wait on Hannity sometimes at John's Pizza back along like 2002, 2003. And he would sit with the cops and some of the other Fox folks and talk. And like, they're, you know, so transparently and nakedly. I mean, they buy their own BS to some degree, but they know what they're doing. And so this is them also, you know, you don't think that those folks don't know. I believe that you do, even if you don't think it'll be found out, you send that text as insurance to give yourself the distance, the cognitive distance where somehow you both said the right thing at the right time, but then went on to still propagate this BS because you support it. And I think the other thing too is why does this circle of folks not do the right thing? Because they don't think the right thing is the right thing that we think it is. They think this is great. Yeah. And even though maybe the optics of that moment did not appear even the way that, you know, even if you had a fantasy about the Capitol riot, if you had a fantasy about the Capitol insurrection, it didn't go well because it looked kind of pathetic and lazy and sort of like, you know, 5 o'clock shadowed and lots of weird scarves and hats.
So not enough khakis.
Not enough khakis. So like you actually have disappointment on all sides. Some people going, we didn't go hard enough. And those going, this is awful. Believe what people show you. There is a large contingency in this country that believe in shifting the reality to this being correct and right. And it's way bigger and way more omnipresent than I think people give it credit for.
100%. What did they think was going to happen after stirring and causing that much distrust in the election? This was obviously going to happen.
We're the nation of Ramonas. We're a nation of Ramonas, and we're just the Countess desperately trying to get her to stop yelling turtle time. Thank you.
Wait, Ramona's from
Real Housewives.
Real Housewives.
Just checking.
I don't get the reference.
I was missing something deep and intellectual, but I'm not.
No, you're not. It's completely surface.
Ramona is my cat's name, and honestly, if we had a nation of my cat, I feel like it would be a great nation. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.